Let's try this. How about this? Hey, okay, yay! All right, how's it sound? Is the balancing good? Excuse me. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Nice. Awesome. So, first of all, if you'll notice, I am playing some background music here. And this thing has been ad blocked. So, not going to have any more issues with any of that stuff. Thank you to the couple very nice people that were like, I am begging you, please get some ad blocker. Now you got it. Now we got it. I shouldn't say you, I should say we, because good Lord, have I ever wanted to just break everything in my life because of ads. Like there's literally never been one point in my life where I have looked at an ad and been like, you know what, that's what I want. That's really what I want in my life. It's just insane. Anyway though, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna close the screen door, and then I'll be right back. Okie dokie. Cool. So, what we're going to do, and this was inspired by something someone sent me just a second ago, or not a second ago, but someone was asking me about some music stuff, and I want to answer one of those questions, because that is going to kind of lead into what we're doing here. Let's see. They basically said, what was the question? Well, I don't recall where I put it, but it basically said, how is it that you put your concepts and ideas into actual music? Hey, buddy. Got my neighbor's dog over here. He wants to hang out. Hi, bud. Anyway, basically the way that I devise ideas and stuff, I just have like, now you want to go out? You're like a cat. I'm just letting you know. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so it was asked of me, how do you make concepts into music? I always start off with like a story or an idea or an aesthetic that I want to make. And I'll just show you real quick, long before I ever got into rap. What really got me set on like music stuff. Something that I really felt was so like cool and amazing was metal stuff. Like, you look at something like this, you get this logo right here, and it immediately makes me think like, let's see, let's just jump right over here. Yeah, here we go. So we get something like this, right? Like, look at this. It just immediately makes me go, oh, like, what is that? That's so cool. And, oh, yes, Shirley, yes. And hello, by the way. You were the one that asked that, yes. Yeah, so like looking at this aesthetic, it's really, really cool. And I just thought this looks so neat. Like what is this genre? What is this about? And all that stuff. Now, musically, enjoying metal has been its own thing for me. It's been its own lengthy history for me. But even just the aesthetics of, let me see. You know, you even get something like this. I'm just pulling up the first things I see here. None of this was even planned. But like, look at this. It's just, it demands a lot of questions here. You look at this stuff and it's like, what is going on here? This is so cool. And then you even, you know, when you become more aware of like how they design stuff, you get parallel, you know, it looks like 2 slash marks right there, parallel horizons, and it's some dude like holding his face, but his face is like swirling. It's like, what the heck is that? I think one of the first logos I ever saw like that was, what was it? I think the fact that it just, you know, oh, here we go. Yeah. Whenever this came out, yeah, look at that. Excuse me. Especially if these, if this album art was any indication of how the album would sound. Like if it had really cool sort of esoteric synthy stuff, or, you know, like look at this and tell me what you think. What do you think when you see this? Like I'll pause the music too, just so we can think about this. Like look at this design and just give me a thought of what it makes you think. Like what does it sound like to you? What does this sound like to you? And I'll burn that image in your brain real quick, and then I'm gonna look up some other covers while you guys are thinking about that. Okay? Oh, yeah, Parkway Drive. Always gotta love some Parkway Drive. Yeah. So, you locked in your answer. And we're gonna put this music back on. Yeah, so like a Last Stand, a Battle, something like that. When I see this, I think like droning dark synth. Like it's imposing, it's big, it's creepy. Of course, there's intensity because we got people getting sucked up. It's gonna be scary, it's gonna be loud, but there's also just this horrific, like, like it almost embodies the feelings that you would feel if you saw this. You'd be like, and that's what I really like about this. And of course, you know, Shirley, you have firsthand experience with, you know, being very, you know, adamant on how the 2D can, you know, paint a picture. Like something like this. Like, okay, look at how it just kind of turns into the woods. Is this an animal from the trees? What's its history? How did it get here? How did this kid get here? What's the deal with that? Also, really, really like this logo here. It looks like you're looking through a thicket, and the sunlight is pouring in, and then you see that little wolf right there for the I love that kind of stuff. I love it. So, I'm gonna look and see. So there's this YouTuber that talked about different band logos, and I love this dude. Like, he's so he thinks so logically about a lot of stuff. And this is a band called Sign of the Swarm. And if you look at it, you can see antenna, you can see wings. You know, you can figure these are probably like pinchers or legs or something, but then here's little pinchers like on those carpenter ants, that kind of thing. So I love that. So when it came time for me to think about like a logo for me, hold up, that was a very, very small picture. Let me go back to this. Like, I really want, oh, of course we do the white one. Okay. I wanted to design something akin to that. So David the aphid, it's this insect. But then here you can see in here, David the aphid. I got this on Fiverr. This guy was amazing. I would almost love nothing more than to just think of all the cool ways that letters and stuff can get turned into something more than just, you know, just a cool little thing. The logo itself becoming its own piece of art is so cool to me. So the more I learned about that, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Going back to some of these other pictures and stuff, when I look at something like Parkway Drive's The Blue, right? Or Deep Blue, the fact that the ocean takes up most of the space, but then there's this town over here, and there's songs like Leviathan Eye on that project, which is just insane. It immediately makes me think, like, yeah, this city is prevalent here and it's obviously big, there's a lot of people, but the focus is this. We're looking at the wonders of the deep. We're looking at the creepiness of what's going on down there. What's the deal? Maybe this town is in fear of what's going on here. It's all those things that in my head, I think it's cool. Maybe to some people they'd be like, yeah, it seems dumb, but I just think it's so... Before you even listen to any of the music, you have things to take in your eyeballs and things to think about with your brain. So, let me see real here. What is this group? Oh, yeah, even something like this. And then there's like all sorts of different styles of logos and all that. Let me see. What else we got here? Yeah, The Devil Wears Prada is pretty cool. I kind of, you know, I like it when bands bring in a symbol. That kind of is stuck with their bands and stuff, different symbols and all that. Let me see if there's anything here. Oh, that's not found. Okay. Let me just dial it back here real quick. So we have stuff like that. Whoop. Oopsie. Yeah, we got Signs of the Swarm. Yeah. Okay. So then you get stuff like this. And it makes me think of ways that you could make characters be a part of the project. And it just so happens a lot of metal does that. A lot of metal has characters and concepts. And we're not just talking screamo metal. We're talking like even Eddie, who is Eddie from? Iron Maiden. So Eddie from Iron Maiden is one of the most like iconic characters in metal music. Look at this dude. And he's in every single album. So this dude, like, he's there. Now, if you know anything about all the, oh, that's cool. Wow, look at how, and see, look, these characters, and think of it this way. Think of it like VTubers, right? You get the different, clothes, you get all the different things, you know, you get all that stuff, but it can change, it can develop, it can look different. This is still Eddie, but look, he's so much different than how he was in the 80s. That's also something I liked, if you guys remember my early stuff when I had the character Muse and different things like that. I love the idea of characters, because I think also that can make the storytelling really good. Um, Something I love in a lot of metal music. I'm gonna pause this here for a sec because honestly, it's kind of it's kind of messing my mind up. The the very happy-go-lucky stuff. Actually, maybe let me try this real quick. Let's do something more. There we go. Haha. Okay. A lot more crazy. Hey, little gremlin, how you doing? So amid me stopping myself for a moment, amid my verbal vomiting, I'm gonna look at some of the questions here. I'm so sorry. From an art POV, the thorny and sharp lines are important to creating the metal atmosphere. You'll notice that even in the cases of illustrations rather than typography, the motif bleeds through. Yes. Hey, Man of Muse, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, and Gremlin, I appreciate your sentiment on that. Know this, sure, I made another channel pretty quickly after I deleted the other channel, but honestly, I was hurting. Like, I was so upset. Like, I knew in that moment I had to stop what I was doing because I was working myself too thin, like I said in the video. But then after I deleted that, sure, there was the immediate, whew, okay, it's over. And then I sat there like, why? Like, it was so, yeah. And I didn't even know what I felt for the next few days. I was just kind of off, you know. But so, with that said, for example, let's tie that feeling into talking about music here. I wish I brought my stand here. I have to this thing's gonna be over here. Sorry. So, I've noticed there's a few different ways that we can look at, you know, metal music here. If you turn your eyes to the screen, there's intensity, darkness that can go on. There's a lot of different routes you can go with that. You can kind of have a bad ending with the story you're trying to tell, you know, and then that makes it really easy to, you know, draw up something really creepy. Also, I'm just going to say I love how this kind of bleeds together. Obviously, it's different colors, so it stands out, but it just kind of bleeds together. And it would look great on a shirt. Yes, merch is very important to me. I love that. For adventuring music, like something that's happier, you can get Dragon Force, you can get thrash metal, you can get all these different things that can have a very positive atmosphere. And there's literally no end to what you can do with that. You can write about whole different worlds, you can have it be sci-fi, you can have it be medieval, you can have all that different stuff. Even like, for example, okay, Shirley, I'll see you later. Yeah, so like Dragon Force, Operation Grounded Pound. Smashing through the boundaries, storming through the burning fields, stand before the evil one, on towards the molten sun, falling under skies of pain. Soldiers searching endlessly, crashing over 7 seas, torture in the winter sky, riding over plains of ice, shadow in the fields of the slain. Crashing steel and rage you feel will smash the cross, destroy the army, crash the legions of the twilights, devils have seen our way, cry for a way as we reach for the day. It's pretty almost, you know? Passing our way through the punishment and the pain. Like, it's so, like, sure, the music is very upbeat. That's what, you know, thrash music and speed metal does. It's meant to be very emotional. But, like, it puts me in a whole different world. I love it. What were they saying? Rise through the pain like the sun will rise again, day after day, but the memories never change. Like, it makes me think of those big, huge games like Fear and Hunger and Void. What was it? Void Passenger or Void Traveler? That game that Connor just played, Sea Dog VA just played. Um, that kind of thing, it like in my mind, it just gives me so much to work with. It gives me so many great stories. It gives me so many cool things to think about. And I love that, right? So when I'm trying to think and not just geek out about my passions about music, when I actually try and pull that together and think, okay, what kind of music can I make? Well, that's what we're devising here. So, what kind of tone do we want? Um, and with this said, I think what's synonymous with a lot of this stuff is okay, if you're telling a story, what's something that what can some of these stories be? Uh, Bad ending stuff. It could be anything from at home life or life in general. I'm just giving some ideas off the top of my head here. When you think bad endings or really tough, sad stories, bad home life. Hey, Andrew S., how you doing? So we get that. War, I mean, we can just say, war is a facet of life. Sabaton talks a lot about that, the back and forth of how crazy some of that stuff can be. Could even be something totally fictional. So we get something like Silent Hill, right? My favorite horror franchise of all time, period. Psychological stuff. And then that gives rise to characters that fit that mold. Okay, we're going into the psychological. Also, the psychological can fit any other story here. Bad life at home, life in general. How do you address those things? How not just look at the stress of what you're going through, but also how your brain can perceive some of that stuff, the psychological. So, war, very much so too. I mean, all these things can tie together. So it's not just the physical, it's the mental. So there's that. There's, if we're looking at the happy stuff, where can we go with that? We can go with literally describing where we're going. Paint the picture of the world. Paint picture of the world. Describe. So we're painting a picture. You can literally write a song about a place that you just made up. Welcome to welcome to Habanya, It's a beautiful area. We could talk about the flowing fields, the snow-peaked mountains, and how pretty it is. You could write a whole song about that. You can go into more detail. What type of foliage there is, what type of animals you might see. So the life in that area. And as you're describing that, you can give rise to, hey, are we going to be talking about the good things in this world, the happy little things, or maybe we're going to give more of a negative perspective? Habanya is not the best place on Earth. It actually has a sinister side to it, let's say. Maybe we could go that way. So and then what type of description of the outdoors would be complete without trying to tie it into Zelda? I'm just saying, dungeon crawlers, those kinds of things, one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Just anything revolving around exploration of the world around you. So then from there, since we're going into the fictional side of things, what else can you look at? Well, what other things could you possibly imagine would be in a creepy dungeon? All sorts of scary weapons, scary creatures, and those things can have an effect on you. That kind of stuff. So, what can you find in dungeons, wilderness? So then from that, you can take however long you want describing some of the crazy creatures you find, or how your life can be changed and ebb and flow based on this good, staff that you picked up, or a cursed blade that you didn't know was cursed until you go out into the light, and then the handle burns your hand or something. All these things you can literally describe in detail, because that is what a lot of these genres can talk about, because and that kind of goes into what I just said here, storytelling. And it's with that said that it makes character design so easy. Also, and I'm just showing this here. We have Microsoft Bing, made by Procreate, which is an important company because they, they care about actually making good, on their use of generative stuff. But also, mind you, this is just for reference. This is just reference stuff I use. I also found that Perchance has actually really good AI stuff. And, obviously the faces can be very distorted and stuff, but let's see. I can just do something like this, cursed dungeon, or creepy dungeon with cursed medieval weapons. Let's see. Let's just do that. Then we're going to do that. All right. Oh, why did it do that? I didn't mean to click that. Let's just do this. There we go. So this is just an example, and I can put that exact same kind of prompt in here. Oh, and look at that. So obviously it's not something you'd be able to slap on a t-shirt because, just trust me on this. The faces do not look good. Plus, what the heck are they holding? That doesn't really look like anything. What is this thing? Is this some weird candelabra? I don't even know what they're holding. Let's try and decipher this. Yeah, that looks like they're literally flipping you off right now. And look at that face. That's just a little messy, but it gives you something, It's so when you're trying to figure out what you want to decide, it's good to start with something, I think. And I don't see the problem with using this just for this. So if I were to take some of these and then go to an artist and go, hey, I want to have a background drawn that looks like this. Obviously they're not just going to do a 1-for-1, but it's just something. It's something to start with is what I was trying to get at. My brain just decided to go, it's my day off, my brain doesn't work. So now, if we were to do, just so long as we're, taking time to address all this, let's look at speed metal albums and logos. So we're going to look at it like this. Oh, Chains of Scarlet, good seeing you, though. Sorry, I only just noticed you now. Let me see. Aha. So these are the thrash metal bands, which a lot of this stuff has plenty of music that's very yes, we're going to fight, and the guitar. So I actually don't know any of these bands. Yeah, the funny thing is, since I started listening to more rap and stuff, I don't know anything about most metal groups. I don't know anything about it. But look at this stuff. This obviously has a lot more angular stuff. I think the angularity of it is huge if you're wanting to talk about sci-fi stuff. So, that's one idea. If we're going to go sci-fi, then thrash metal could really work. Thrash metal angular logos equals sci-fi. So, that's just one idea. And then on the flip side, you can have stuff like this that in its own way, I think also, what was I seeing here? What was that one band? Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to check it out because I cannot remember this one band. But this in this video that this guy made that really got me thinking about metal logos and stuff, this one guy talked a lot about bands that obviously they do really cool calligraphy with their logos, but it like one of them looks like machinery, kind of. So let me see here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, and Junji Ito does the exact same thing.
Logos. If you've ever gone outside or owned anything ever, then I'm sure you're more than familiar with logos being shoved into your face 24/7 all the time forever. A lot of logos have a surprising amount of thought and effort put into them in order to be easily recognizable, aesthetically pleasing, and pretty legible at pretty much any size. Or at least that's the case for the majority of logos, because when it comes to extreme music genres, all these rules just get... In addition to the artists, there are plenty of individual logos that I really want to info dump about as well. So I'm going to do that now. Like, you gotta admit, this just looks so sick, doesn't it? While most logos have a general outline that fits into a more rectangular shape, 200 over here really breaks the mold by having such an odd general, like, dimensions. It's like the Nepal flag of band logos. It's just neat. Cattle also breaks the general shape mold a little bit by having a long, scraggly arm that extends way further than it should logically go, and yet it works extremely well. No Cure looks like one of those things you set out to make sure a bird doesn't sit on a sign, but like in a cool way. The same goes for Revenge and Gulch and Scalp, and well, I guess a lot of logos kind of look like this, but you get the point. Organ Failure looks like someone sneezed on a piece of paper, and I mean that in a good way. Mourned has such a beautiful logo. I just love this, man. The headstone, the bats, the twisting around the crosses, the horns, the symmetry, just mwah, I love this so much. Belphegor did an amazing job at making letters look menacing. I mean, this logo looks like it hates you almost. Needle Contaminated Pork not only looks awesome, but the little gas mask motif at the very center just works so well. I love it. Disentomb looks like a crab for some reason.
And that's the first thing I thought when I saw this logo too. I was like, oh, it looks like a crab. That's what I was trying to get at. There was another band he talked about, and I totally could not figure out what in the heck. I think it was back here, was it? I don't know. Oh, was it back? Oh, man alive. I don't know. For you guys who don't know much metal, tell me, what the heck do you think this says? Tell me. Anyway, so there was something... What was the band called? Anyway, so there's some that they do... it looks like machinery. So, going back to this real quick, if we do something like machinery, a mechanical logo, let's just say a train, right? So then with that, if we say, what if we made a logo look like a train? What would that call the mind? Train travel is prominent in this world, or at least for this band, let's say. They're making, they're making music somehow related to a world that has trains in it. But also, what kind of train? We could make a steampunk train, we could make an old school train, we could make a modern train. It can let the viewer know what time period we're even in. So there's that. And then also one of my favorite things I've seen Hey Shirley, welcome back. Um, let's see. Real quick here. Let's see. Do do do. Boo 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 boo. What was it called? Oh yeah, this one. So I don't know if this will get demonetized or anything, but this, I saw something like this a little bit ago, and like what Crustbag talked about in his video, the this guy here, um, this like this art style in and of itself. And this is the really thrash, like just crazy, like vocal stuff. There's so many people that buy the merch of this band and they don't even listen to the music. So it's one of those funny things where something about the aesthetic is just so cool. It's so interesting. And, for all their albums that they've made so far, you get this cool character that becomes a visual to what the album is. So, with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to what the heck I want to do with all this, we're just going to dial all this back because now this information is safe out here forever. I'm putting this out here. When it comes to what type of metal I want to do, because yes, that is what we decided on. I want to do stuff that has more singing, whether it's the really vibrato vocals or it's, like really droning type stuff. Like, let's see. Whoa, I don't know how that happened. Let's just do this. Let's do. Let's do this here. I think it might be, yeah. So this is like drone metal. And something I never really did much of when I was putting out music was like what if I could just sing like a droning long like song over something. Now I know this is mostly just meant to be atmospheric, but like look at even it's in a totally different language. That's why. I was like, look at the titles. These titles are so cool. That's another thing. Singing over ambient. Let's just see what that gets us. That you get very clean vocals sung over really distorted guitar. I love that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the Who, like the Who, like yeah, I would have no idea how to do any of that. But let's just see. So, let's write down over here. So we're kind of open to any sort of story style. So then we could just write down what kind of music we're looking at. Something that we would want to sing over, let's say. Let me see here. Okay, so literally one of the first things I clicked on. Oh, Jacob. Jacob Lizotte is the guy who did the instrumental for my song Grip Like a Devil. This guy's really good. Like, look at the art here for this Tool-inspired album. It's so cool. It just kind of has this droning quality to it, so you could sing something like... Like, you can go along with that. Or you could go with the drums and go... Like, you could just go along with whatever style you want. What was that suggestion by you, Shirley? Let's see. Guy Rose. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this was 2 years ago. I'm just gonna jump ahead so we don't... Why do I feel like I've seen these guys before, honestly? Really nice singing there. Like that's not the easiest thing to do. And I also liked that kind of very what is it? Like anime style. Like I think that was just synth that they were playing. But it had a very like what is it? Can't think of the term, so we're just gonna move on. It just had a very unique flavor to it. It wasn't just rock, you know. World Is Mine, I think I heard that. Yeah, by Miku, yeah. Here I was thinking World Is Mine was like Good Morning World from freaking Dr. Stone. Ohio, Chicago, morning world. I did that all wrong. I was flat on that, but oh well. Let me see. Yeah, so that's dope. I like that. Okay, we're going too far along here. What was this one? Oh, trap metal. Okay, a little bit not my style, but yeah, no. I don't like that. That's a whole side of like the metal side of things that I just don't like. Okay, so we got ambient drone, we got thrash. I feel like some of the thrash stuff might be a little too much for me, but let me just see. Thrash instrumentals. Whoops, not trash, thrash. Ooh, old school stuff, right? Metal Eternal. Okay. Yeah, I think some of this stuff is almost like, it's like I don't really know what to follow, so in my head I feel like I have to rap over this. It sounds dope though, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a style that I don't really like. And especially with the guitar, I don't know what you would call it, but it just has such a washed out quality to it. I know because I know the point is supposed to just be chugging and stuff, but like, I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I like the cleaner sounds of prog rock. And then prog, yeah, and ambient. I mean, I feel like essentially, if you're gonna make like a somber song and something, you could make an ambient track, or at least have something slowed down, like a prog metal track that's really chill. So then, we look over at something like this. Now, let's say for a second that I didn't want to go with David the Aphid. What if I just wanted to make something else? Okay, well, what's a few different things we could do here? Let's say we're doing... I'm just going to do this real quick while we're at it. Okay, now we do have to pause that again. So I just found this. I haven't heard this before. I love how it builds. And even the art here, right? Like we get the sort of galaxy behind the skull. It makes me think, is this a creature out in space? What, the little bit of echo on the guitar makes me think we're playing this out in space. That is what I love about really good album covers. It just pulls me into that world. Some people say, oh, it might be, an aesthetic to go with the audio. For me, it pulls me into it. And if you can give me something that has anything to do with what we're talking about in the actual project, like lyrically or stylistically, I am all for it. So. Oh, Bandmate, I've heard of those guys, yeah. Oh. Sorry, sir. Oh, wait, I've seen this before. No, I've seen this. Yeah. Where the heck have I seen this before? I swear I've seen these characters before. I got no clue. But no, I really do like this style. It makes me think a lot about like just the general aesthetic that a lot of Iris's music has. It really just has a very, I don't even know how you would describe it, but it's so like energetic. Yeah, it's very, very energetic, and I love that style. So Um, Whoopsie. I didn't mean to do that. But we're just going to jump into it. Oh, yep, there we go. That's one thing that I think will make this really hard for me, doing this genre. Yeah, I can't really sing like that. So that we're just gonna have to take speed metal off the docket here. We're gonna have to go with like moody prog metal and prog rock here. Cool. Let me see. Let me see here. What? Hold on. Oh, it's like instrumentation. Okay, got it. And yes, Bandmate, I have heard of them. Let's just pull them up while we're talking about it. Let's do this. This is the live video. Pretty recent here. We're just going to jump. So it's just every Ado song by Ado. No, and I say that in total love and adoration of her freaking music. The drumming is insane, though. I love it. Yeah, so even then, like, okay, so we look at something like some of the punk aesthetics here, some of the punk rock stylizations that we have here, right? What does that normally turn into? We can talk a lot about emotions. We can be very blunt with how we're describing things, you know, from an emotional standpoint. You get guys like, I mean, even, what was that group? Oh my gosh. They did the whole lengthy series that I reacted to about the prison and, oh Lord. I'm gonna have to take a nap after this, I swear. Like, my brain is just not working right now. Milgram. So Milgram, a lot of their stuff, serious, intense emotions from the actual characters. So, like, let's say, for example, let's go into that. Let's do this one right here.
Chef, made it. Beats for your soul.
The only thing is, with a lot of punk stuff, I can't do a voice that really sounds punkish. So, can't really do that. But I love the emotion. Just the guitar and the synth as well on it have very emotional leads to it. Also, just in case some of you guys know, this is BeatStars. This is a place where a lot of us buy beats and stuff. And to just look at the average, well, I mean, this is like a punk thing, but for an average Wave and MP3 license, it's going to be $39.99 right here. But you can use it for one music video, distribute up to 10,000 copies, which is pretty good, especially when you're starting out. It's like you're not really going to be getting that many streams when you start out. 50,000 online audio streams. I don't think the collective discography that I had with all my music on Spotify turned out to that much. And that's just for one song. So the cool thing with that is you don't have to shell out money to get, like, because the higher up you go, the more streams that you can get. Here you get the unlimited one, but if we go down here, actually it is unlimited very early on. That's cool. Full monetization. I mean, some of this stuff is very, very expensive. Let's go to like unknown instrumentals. That's who a lot of my early music stuff came from. His stuff starts off $9.99. You know, exclusive rights, it's a little pricey, but unlimited is $50, which I would only put that kind of money into it if, you know, I got the basic license and it just blew up. You know, well, even here it's unlimited. Wow, that's cool. Wow, for $9 or $10, you can have unlimited streams. I'm gonna have to check this guy out. He does do mostly rap stuff though, so not exactly what I'm looking for. But I'm just saying, here you can look up anything. You can look up, let's do progressive metal. What I would normally do, if of course your song is popping off, you're going to want to buy a better lease so that it can keep getting streamed, right? But the cool thing with these too is there's all these nice little PDFs that they give you when you buy a lease. So it's documentation, legal documentation of the purchase that you made, which is really, really cool. Okay, so we have some more Dark Cabin Studio stuff. Ooh, we got
Dark Cabin Studios.
That's cool. Let me do this. This is more just heavy metal. Oh, no,
Dark Cabin Studios.
no, and you're totally okay, Shirley. Like, don't even stress about it. I just realized that a streamer I am not, I'm not able to immediately go back and forth between the chat and, you know, what I'm trying to talk about here. Don't even worry about that. Let me see. Let's see what this one is.
Dark Cabin Studios.
Nice. That's all very cool. So, there is also this other group. I'm not exactly sure what I think about all their stuff, but Metal Store, yeah. Metal Store has just a lot of great deals. You can also get some artists out there that will have like really, really good deals. Literally buy one, get one free. Don't believe, or get 9 free. Excuse me. That's a whole album right there. Let's look and see. Yeah, it literally says when you buy a license, there is no tag on the beat, which is great. But then also says buy one, get 9 free. This is how to activate. Put 10, MP3 licenses in the cart. Pay $30, pay $45, pay $70. Like, that is insane. All my beats are unlimited for monetization on all that stuff. So looking into this stuff, you can find all sorts of great deals. Let's take a look at some of these. I just want to look at, there was this one that looked pretty cool. The only thing I will say with some of these bands, now, admittedly, I don't know everything about production, so I can't tell. It's just based on what I hear. It sounds like sometimes beats might not be produced very well, and you could kind of hear that. You can kind of hear at some point something might not feel right, but... That's kind of cool. Let's see what this one is. So then this would be the long, arduous process where normally I would do this after I have all this other stuff figured out, right? I know that this is the genre I want to make. I know that this is the aesthetic I want to make. I know this is the characters I want to make. This is the genre I want to make. All these different things, right? Once I have that figured out and I know what I want to do, which for me can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years, then I will go into this normally money in hand, ready to buy a bunch of beats. Because even here, like, okay, yeah, you buy one, get 9 free. How could it go wrong? It very easily could. I have had that happen to me before, where I will buy something and then the other 9 instrumentals aren't that good. And then I'm sitting there like, well, here's a bunch of instrumentals I didn't really want. Great. That kind of thing. So you still have to obviously take time to like figure it out. Sure, you can play around as much as you want with AI stuff and all those different things, but when you actually have to put money down on it, especially now that I've, done a bit of music and I've kind of looked at where I want to go next, and also just with this channel in general, realizing that taking your time does more good than harm, There really is no problem with waiting and really making sure exactly what you want to do. So what I would do next, say I didn't want to go with David the Aphid, or maybe I wanted to make up something totally different, or maybe David the Aphid could just be a cool logo that I have for my channel. But then for my music stuff, I want to make something totally different. Who knows? Hopefully me very soon, because I'll be upset if I just keep going back and forth. But I would have to write out, like, okay, who am I going to go to for the logo? Who am I going to go to for character design? What do I want to make for the album? I would design all of that stuff. So then that would be the next part. And for me, that's a really fun part of it, because I feel like I'm kind of bringing a story to light, right? And then also the nicest thing about it is, for especially music where you sing, it's so easy to sing. Like rap stuff, you gotta type 1 billion words, and that's only in a 3.5 minute song. There's so many words that you have to know if you're rapping, and I feel like that was one of the things that slowly got me so burnt out in the genre. Not just that, but I was also putting out quite a lot of music where I didn't really feel like I was growing very much, but also there is a lot of drama and a lot of negativity in rap. I would rather just tell my fun stories and not have to worry about oh, but you're white. Oh, but you don't understand the politics of this. Oh, but there's this facet of rap that is part of rap and you should participate in it, like diss tracks and stuff. No, I don't want to do that. And if that means, if I have to tell stories in another vein, then I will do that. So anyway, that's kind of the end of that. What I would offer at this point for the couple of you guys that are still sticking around, thank you very much for doing that. Before we go, since I did want this to be open for questions and stuff, if you guys have any questions, and it could even be about this channel, please do not hesitate to ask me about it. I will leave the floor open to you on that. And then, yeah, then I got a few other things I'm going to do and just kind of relax. It's one of my many days off that I get this week. I'm so excited. Very, very happy. Listen to those sounds. Sure, Shirley, take your time. Don't worry about it. Andrew, what was the logic in choosing David the Aphid for your channel? It was a joke. When I was reacting to a spelling bee from the HoloLive members, one of the words they had to spell was aphid, and Fuwawa from HoloLive was having trouble hearing what the word was, and she said, David? Aphid? David? And I just said, oh, David the Aphid. I'm gonna change that to my channel name. And it just was a joke, because I just thought that juxtaposition was really cool. The I guess you could call it play on words, or whatever you call it, where words sound very similar together. It's like Pluto, Naruto, Gaspachi, Kempachi, like just funny stuff like that. So I just thought, oh, David the Aphid, fun. And then that also kind of tickled my brain with what I was just talking to someone about with designing a logo based on the thing, based on, in this case, the insect. So I just thought that was pretty cool. Homophone, that's right, homophone. Yes. I was thinking alliteration. Well, actually, homophone is like cell and cell. Or like it just rhymes, I guess. Let me see. What is alliteration? Nope, that's not right. That's Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Snake slithers slowly in the sandwich. Yeah, so just rhyme schemes, yeah. We got it. At the end of the day, we got it. We know what we're talking about. Oh yeah, Kafka, Franz Kafka. Yeah. So I'll tell you this much. When I originally devised that, I actually thought of a whole bunch of, and I kind of talked about it in the original song I put out. There's so many things that you can do with an aphid. Like, an aphid is not capable of really doing much. So there's different ways that you can describe where the aphid lives. It could live in a desolate land, or it could also be someone who writes from the perspective that they think they're a bug. So there's a lot of different ways you could go with that. And I had devised in my head like a marsh or a swamp or something that I found myself in as this little aphid. And then someone comes in. I actually have a character, had a character. I don't know if I'm going to stick with her or not, but it was a character that was based on a heron, a big bird with a long beak. And they just walk along, and then they just reach in and like grab stuff in this marsh. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was this heron character that kind of presides over this swamp and then takes pity on all the bugs, including, this character David the Aphid. And he's trying to grapple with understanding that as he battles, other insects, or has to run away from predators, like that kind of stuff. So just the route that it went in my head of like trying to come up with a story and then being able to tell that story was like, oh, this would be cool. Yeah. So
today.
So while we're moving away from that concept, just for a moment, I'm just gonna check out some Corone, excuse me.
Today streaming speak only English streaming. Today's game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Everyone join.
Okay, what was that? Sorry, my phone that has my chat on it, it's like in the way of your question here. My screen is not visible to what the chat is. Excuse me. My brain's not working right now. I can't talk. I didn't see your comment here, Andrew. Sorry. Let me take a look here. I might have asked this before, but what was the thing that kickstarted you into content creation? Was it that you just started and slowly did it more, or was there a specific thing? I've watched YouTube for years. And long before I ever got into music, I really liked, sure, you get the movie makers and the skits and the story time stuff and the gameplay stuff on YouTube. Those were kind of the things I watched. But what I also liked was like Game Grumps. So I watched guys like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, but then I really liked Game Grumps because sometimes they would talk more than they would actually focus on the game. And some of their humor back and forth was just hilarious to me. And then, you get into guys like, when they would do reaction videos to fan-made content or things like that, I loved how they chatted about stuff. And then guys like Danny would talk about things from the perspective of a musician. And I liked that because it made it more fun than just, oh, here's this personality that I like who also is reacting to something I like. And then I found out about guys like Crypt and Nox Hill, who are rappers who shared things from their perspective. And I liked that because it made me appreciate rap all the more. And then you get those videos, country musician reacts to Slipknot, or metalhead reacts to Taylor Swift or something. So you get these unique, I wonder what this artist might think about this stuff. And at the time, I was really influenced by, because I had wanted to make music for the longest time, right? Ever since I was 14, I wanted to be in a band. And my friends and I tried to form a band, but we didn't really know how to put it together. So then, I was so just kind of nervous about the concept of making actual music. It just seemed so daunting because here I was trying to make it with my friends and we just couldn't make anything. So then I found out about nerdcore music. And while I don't like the guy, None Like Joshua was the very first artist that I really like latched onto. He did like a rap over dubstep for Naruto. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing ever. I love this. I want to be like this guy. That's literally what I thought in my head. And I think I commented like, I want to be like you someday. So then I actually started rapping after I did my previous channel, Roar the Dancer, where I was just, again, I was so interested in music, but I had no ambition to make my own music. But I love dancing, and I just love music. So I was doing all these dance videos, and then I was trying to tie it into like, oh, here's this nerdy subject that I like. Like if someone does a remix of an anime theme that I like, I could dance to it. So people can know, hey, I'm a dancer, but then I also like this anime. And it was actually around the time that I deleted that channel that I was contacted by a fan Facebook page for Recreators, which was a really, really good anime that came out. And they suggested something that I was already kind of interested in doing because they liked my dance videos related to Recreators. And they said, you know, the show is still airing right now. What if you did a rap recap of every episode and then you dance to it? And I was like, that sounds really cool and awesome. And I did that for many, many shows afterwards. So I say all that, you know, I had initial ambition, right? But the more that I got into making stuff that I wanted to make and just kept consuming content and you know, paying attention to what was going on around me, that content evolved. Because then it kind of turned back into reactions, and then I did my own original music, like the 14 EP, A Girl With No Name, A Duet Like No Other, Me, all those different things. But then also going back into, you know, making nerdy content, rapping about different VTubers, stuff like that. So I had the initial ambition. I just, in looking at YouTube and stuff, that kind of curbed how I would go about it. So that's kind of how I see it. And long before doing rap or anything like that, I loved rock music and metal music. That was my first love long before learning about metal and stuff. So, rap, excuse me. So, oh yeah. It's obvious to me that was my previous channel, but I forget how a lot of you guys had no idea that was my previous endeavor. I was just a dancer. Popping, waving, animations, tutting. I tried a little bit of b-boying, what people would call breakdance, but I have really bad equilibrium. So doing any sort of spins just immediately made me sick. But I would say that when I was doing dance, that was before I found my voice. I'll put it to you that way. Because I started dancing long after I tried making original music with my friends. So after I left trying to make music because it felt so daunting, then I did dance because I was like, well, I love music. I want to do something related to music. And then it was after that I was like, you know, watching nerdcore and stuff that I was like, oh, I can do this. And it made it really easy to start writing original music, because if you do nerdcore stuff, you already have the formula. You just have to write lyrics about a concept that's already written. So it was actually pretty easy to do. So I felt like that was just perfect timing to learn about that stuff. So, yeah, well, you know, in my Roar the Rapper or Dancer channel didn't get anywhere near as close to what, you know, this channel or the previous channel had. That was, I barely got 1,000 subscribers. And then admittedly that one I deleted because I was in a relationship where the person in question was convinced that I was spending more time making YouTube videos than I was spending time with her, and I deleted it out of spite, because I kept thinking, well, if I throw away everything else in my life that I spend my time doing, and then she still thinks that I don't spend time with her, then I know that she's not being, reasonable. It's not my fault at that point. Maybe you're just demanding too much time from me, because if I'm literally doing nothing but going to work and then have like one hobby on the side, and you want to think that I'm spending all my time doing that, maybe not. But yeah, so well, and the funny thing with that too, Andreas, like, I'm sure you've seen that with plenty of VTubers, a lot of them started waving their glow sticks in their room, and then they became the content creators that people admire and fanaticize. So it was pretty cool. We can do a few more questions if you guys think of anything.
Okay. Okay. やばい。何も出てこない。英語何も出てこない。やばい。これやばい。これとてもやばい。
She can't
Let's go,
English.
Mario Kart. やべ。やべ。ちょっと待って。待って、昨日の掃除しとらんかった。Please human.
Oh,
Please,
her
human.
avatar looks so cute.
Let's go
Please,
human.
Oh, she's waiting for people.
Come on
Aw,
human. Come on.
that's so cute though.
誰も来ない。Oh no. Nothing human.
Oh no.
Everybody safe driving, okay? Safe driving. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wait.
Wait.
Oh, I can fly. Yay! Whoa, I don't know. Okay. Whoa.
That's so cute.
Oh,
I love it.
Ness, Mr. Ness. Wait, Ness. Come here, Ness. Oh. Whoa. Mushroom powder. Whoop. Ness. Woohoo.
I adore her personality. She's so funny.
Okay. I am safe driver.
That is true. You're also
are
last.
Dangerous driver. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Oh, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Oh, yo. Mo. Cow paradise. This. Please, stage, please.
Let's see. So, if you were the director of a TV show, animated or otherwise, what would you do? Would you rehash some of the stories you made with Roar, or do something original? I think I would do something original. I would love to have something animated, like an animated show. I think maybe on the side, if we did like a documentary or something about just music in general, or maybe actually if we did like a YouTube Red series. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore, but I think for some people who might not know or be similarly daunted about making music or making creative content, I would love to do like a totally different genre of something where I try a genre that I've never done before and then like chronicle the whole process. Like obviously it would be something I would have some interest in. But I think that would be really fun. And, that could be on the IRL side. On the animated side, I think it would be so much fun to work with voice actors, different animators, like all sorts of people to make something related to characters and music and stuff that I liked. I think that would be really fun. So.
英語あまり種類わからない。
Oh, you don't know how to say much. Yes! Yes!
Cow paradise!
Are these all just parodies?
Coming! Thank you. Here we go.
It's so adorable.
I am safe driver.
Ho ho.
Oh, snow boy.
Snow boy.
Wow. Animal Udo stage? English name. 動物の森 English name. Animal planet. Animal crossing. Animal crossing.
Oh,
stage.
Animal Crossing. There we go.
Nice. Yes. Dangerous turtle. Boom.
Turtle
Thank
house.
you for coming. Thank you. Mwah. Get out of here. Next. Monster. Oh no, alien.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, magical box. I love magical box. Wow. Oh, mushroom paradise. Thank you. I am justice. Let's go. Yes. 再開って英語でなんて言うの？再開英語でなんて？あ、一人落ちてた。おい、ナイス。いや、マッシュルームしか来ない。マッシュルームしか来ないよ。ワースト。あ、オッケー。ワーストだけは嫌だって英語でなんて言うの？ワーストだけは嫌だって英語でなんて言えばいい？
Oh no.
Yes! Do, red turtle! Yeah, justice turtle! Yahoo! No.
No, just throw that out there. Like, it doesn't have to be interesting.
Okay.
Literally, any question is fine.
Banana for you. Green turtle! Yes! Kinoko! Okay, DK Jungle! Banana!
DK Jungle.
Woohoo! Jungle Man! Oh! Justice turtle! Okay. Boom!
Boom.
This is justice! Woo!
I love that she knows the theme song. Oh, maybe what kind of types of characters or genres attracts you to a series? Oh, to like a animated series? It depends. So I'm watching Dungeon Meshi right now, and I love it. It makes me think of Eurocamp, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. The thing I like about it is everything's pretty chill, first of all, and the characters, they know how to relax. And I say that because some action series and stuff, the characters never slow down. They never just chill. And it's always very humanizing to me to see a character, like, once you hang up the sword, what do you do in your off time? You know, what do you do after that? And if you can get a character, in my mind, if you can get a character to relax and they're enjoyable to be around when they're just chilling, then I already like them. Plus, it's also nice to have downtime in a serious series, you know, because there is some seriousness in Dungeon Meshi. I think in some cases, you know, when we're talking more intense series and stuff, if it is well done, I like crazy characters. And I only say that because aesthetically, a lot of crazy characters are just amazing, because from how they look to their attacks and all that other stuff, really, really cool. But usually some of that comes with so much psychological damage, I can't not like feel bad for the characters and not enjoy a lot of them because of that. But then if you get a character who has a lot of like pretty understandable reasoning for being so unhinged, then it's like, okay, we like this even more here. But just the crazy, like enjoying crazy just for the sake of crazy, I don't like that aesthetic. But, you know, I guess I just like characters who, you know, they can do their fighting, they can do all their cool stuff, but what do you do in your off time? That's another thing I really liked about Recreators. Metoria, the elf, she had a whole funny episode arc where she thought, well, I'm kind of boring and not very interesting. What would happen if I was like a really cool fighter and like really interesting. And she just had this whole interesting subplot to herself where she was just thinking about, how could I make myself more interesting as a person? And it was super endearing and fun. I really enjoyed that. The first season of Zombieland Saga was another good example of that. The girls doing dancing and metal and all that other stuff, but then also having lots of downtime and character development and growth and that kind of thing. And then from that said, my favorite character in that series was, now I forgot her name, Tai Yagami. No, not Yagami. Oh shoot, what was her name? She was the only zombie in the series that never really awoke. So she never said anything, but she would like grunt and groan and stuff. But I loved how they drew her and made her character very descriptive in its own unique way. I even made a video a while ago about what I loved about some of the scenes, some of the character moments. But that's me rambling on there. So, do you see yourself still being a content creator in 10 years? If so, what size and doing what thing? The same thing you've been doing? Yeah. Honestly, I don't see why doing content creation would ever have to stop, because there's always going to be a market for it. People are always going to be making art. There's always online platforms for those things. And I think fundamentally one of the best things about art is being collaborative. So I would love to keep working with other artists and keep making music and all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at that. So why do you say that, Shirley, that Zombieland Saga was aimed at you? While we're talking about that series, we'll just go back to a scene that I really liked. Since these characters were idols, they had to, look for any place they could to get their name out there. So they were in like commercials in the show itself, in their hometown. They, did commercials where they danced and sang and stuff. And there was one moment where, the zombie that couldn't really talk, she had to basically be just the chicken character, and during the song had to do a cock-a-doodle-doo. Because she was trying to sing. You could tell that she was trying to sing, but then they were saying like, please just come in with the cock-a-doodle-doos, and she goes, oh, like she just had this like, oh, okay, like, and she had like a vocal fry on her voice too, which was just so cute. But then when the part of the, actually, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna do. And Saga Tori Drive-In Tori. Did you just wake up over there? Yeah. Let's just look at this. It's just so fun.
なんていうかローカルって感じやね。超有名企業。この掘ったて小屋くん、なんも変わっとらん。
Okay, we don't need to do all this.
してもらいたいと思います。
But
まずは中に入って当店自慢の焼肉を食べてください。
okay, so they're eating all the food and it's delicious and nice.
なんです。 いえいえ、美味しく食べてくださるのが何よりの喜び。
That's not even the scene I was looking at. But while we're at it, Yamada? Was that her name? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, here we go.
それではもろもろよろしければ始めさせていただきます。しやす。
よろしくお願いします。
So she's back here.
はい、じゃあテスト。よーい。ほーい。
焼き鳥1番、鶏飯2番、3はサラダで良い健康。いつもニコニコ、鳥で満腹。
しやす。なんか
変な声聞こえたな。
すいません。タエ、しっかり歌え。無理だよ、さきちゃん。タエちゃん
So
音
Tai
遠いし。
can't sing.
とやす。
オッケーっすか？
So honestly, like she's looking to I when I saw this originally, I thought she's looking down like she's like, oh, like I want to sing, I can't do it. So I just
じゃあ
loved
さ
how
っき
it's
の
a,
うえってのだけ NG でしょ。本番です監督しや
じゃあ、タエちゃん、最後のコケコッコーだけ一緒に言おうか。
じゃあ本番。
本番しやがれ。
よい。
おーい
so she's like trying, she's like sweating. Oh, I love it.
焼き鳥一番、鳥飯二番、三はサラダで良い健康。いつもニコニコ。
She looks so serious, like I got this.
自然おいしい楽しいみんなで行こう今日も元気だドライブイントリ
Oh, my gosh. When did this come out? What the heck? Okay, yo, I'm not crying right now. I'm seriously not. Oh, jeez. That was 5 years ago. Damn. Ah. Yeah, no, I love that. She's like, okay, that's the one direction I have. All right, I'm going to give it my absolute all right now. I love that. Oh, that's just literally, I don't think you can see it, but there's moisture. There's moisture on my fingers right there. Seriously, it was little things like that all throughout that series that I loved with those characters. And even the fact that she, didn't do any of the singing or anything, but she's trying, and then she's like, yeah, I'm going to do the cock-a-doodle-doos. It's very, very fun. Yeah, so that's that. I think that's good. I think that's good for now. I'm going to say this is the end of this stream here. Going out with a bang. Going out with a whimper. But yeah, I appreciate your guys, your guys' questions and everything, and your interest in what I was talking about. I appreciate that. So, yeah. Obviously, I have a video coming out on Wednesday reacting to one of Ren's newest songs, getting back into his catalog. And yeah, gonna be probably taking a nap with the dog over there. And then that'll be my day. So appreciate you guys.